G'day and welcome to Easy Eats with Dad. My name's Trav, I'm a dad, not a chef, and today I'm going to show you how you can make a sensational dish out of leftovers. Let's get stuck into it. Now, you might remember in a previous episode where we cooked a Mexican fiesta using half a beef brisket. This is where we're going to use the other half. Essentially, we're going to make a beef brisket ragu with pappardelle pasta. Now, first things first, let's make the base for the sauce. All right, so step one is to add a bit of olive oil to a pan, and we're going to brown up some onion, which I've already chopped up. You want to chop it fairly finely. You don't want it to be too chunky or anything like that. All right, so you can see here that the onion's starting to soften and go a bit clear. So we're going to add a bit of garlic. So probably a nice heaped teaspoon of crushed garlic, followed by a heaped teaspoon of basil pesto. That'll just add like a lot of, nice garlicky basil flavour to the base. All right, when you've got all the garlic and the pesto all mixed together with the onion, we're gonna take it off the heat. So now we've just got a jar of char grilled vegetables here. They just add a really nice flavour to any kind of pasta sauce. I've already drained all the oil from it, and basically what we want to do is just cut it into smaller bits. So I've used char grilled veggies here just because I have a jar in the cupboard, but you can use leftover veggies, whether you got roast veggies or something from a salad, whatever you think will go nicely with it. This one's got a couple of different capsicums, yellow, red capsicum, eggplant, artichoke, that kind of thing. So it's going to fry up really nice and act as a really nice kind of base for the sauce. Yeah, so we just add the char grill veggies to the pan with the garlic and the pesto and the onion. We're just going to give that a quick pan fry. All right, while that's sizzling away, we're going to prepare the sauce. So essentially we're going to be slow cooking this meat in a way. It's not going to be like fully slow cooked over 8 hours and that kind of thing. It's a kind of a cheats way of doing it. But what we want, so I'll put in about a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to put in a tin of chopped Italian tomatoes, maybe a teaspoon or two of tomato paste, and then just a bit more pesto to that. So we're going to give that a good mix. Then we're going to add something for later, but something for now. Just a bit of red wine. Not too much, just a little bit, just for flavour. And you can see that's come up nice tomatoey, quite saucy. Now we're going to add the onion and char grilled vegetables to the sauce. So it's done when the onion's nice and clear, it all looks pretty cooked. Now that's essentially the sauce. You can see that there, looks delicious, nice large amount of veggies, nice tomatoey sauce. But of course we need to add the brisket, which is the key ingredient. So literally what we're going to do, we're just going to throw that in. You can try to break it up, but you don't really need to. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it in there. All right, now I'm going to add just a half a cup of water. You could use stock if you wanted to, but I think you'll find this is going to be full of flavour. So a bit of stock might actually, make it too intense. So half a cup of water, and that's looking really nice. So what we want to do now is move this onto the stove. So that's our sauce. Basically what we want to do is put it on a very low heat for probably half hour to an hour. We'll check it after half an hour and see how it's going, and then we're just going to cover it and let it simmer. All right, so this has been on the stove for about an hour, just simmering along, and you can see, look at that, the meat's all fallen apart, and that is coming up beautifully. You can smell it as well, smell the garlic and the pesto and everything, delicious. Now, the reason I've gone with pasta for our leftovers dish is because it's simple, and because everyone has some pasta in their cupboard, whether it's a bag of spaghetti or penne or whatever. Everyone's usually got some in there. I've gone with something a bit different. I've gone with pappardelle, which is kind of like fettuccine, but it's a lot wider, and really the sauce sticks to it really nicely, and it's full of flavor. All right, so we've got some boiling water on the stove ready to go with a few pinches of salt in it. And basically what we're gonna do is put the pappardelle in there for 7 minutes. All right, so we just wanna make sure that all the pasta is well and truly submerged, and we're just gonna kind of half put the lid over it, just like so. Just keeps the heat in, but lets all the steam escape. All right, so the pasta's on the boil. Now I've actually put the timer on for 7 minutes because we want to get that pasta al dente, and if you overcook it, it's gonna end up soggy and gross. So 7 minutes and we'll have it off. All right, so that's been 7 minutes exactly. So we're gonna get the pasta out now. Just scoop it out into a colander. You can of course just tip it into the sink, but I find that especially if you got like a fragile pasta, that it tends to kind of make it all come apart, and you don't really want that to happen, especially with something as nice as this pappardelle. All right, now time to dish up. All right, next we're just gonna spoon on the beef ragu. Look at that looks absolutely delicious. All right, now for the garnish, we're just gonna sprinkle just a little bit of parmesan on each of them, not too much. And the last thing we're gonna add is just a sprig of basil to each of them. Now, would you look at that? This is leftovers. That looks sensational. Now, there's only one thing that we have left to do now, and that's our adult accompaniment drink. Now, you actually saw me using a bit of this earlier for the sauce. I snuck a bit of it out. And what we're going for is a nice full-bodied red wine. Now, the wine we've decided to go with is a Sangiovese, which is an Italian grape, but we've sourced it from the King Valley in Victoria. Now, it's a really bold wine, which is going to go really well with the red meat and the garlic and the red sauce of the pasta. So it's not going to overpower it, it's just going to accompany it just right. So let's pour some of that. I'm just going to give that a bit of a taste test. Oh, that is really good. That is gonna go so well with this pasta. One last thing, of course, I better get the boss to come and taste it, make sure it's all right. So just 1 sec. All right, Mia, come and try this. What do you reckon? There you have it. I reckon that dish is a winner. See you next time on Easy Eats. We hope you enjoyed the first season of Easy Eats. To stay up to date between seasons, make sure you like the Easy Eats with Dad Facebook page and subscribe to the Motion Factory YouTube channel.